far. Our next speaker enlisted in the Army in 1999 and deployed to Iraq after serving in Kosovo. On November 10th, 2004, his actions as a squad leader during the Second Battle of Fallujah went well above and beyond the call of duty. While clearing a house, a squad from his platoon became entrapped by intense enemy fire coming from a fortified position beneath some stairs. With disregard of his own safety, this American hero retrieved an automatic weapon and entered the house to engage. The fire he provided allowed the squad to exit the house. When he saw the insurgent-occupied house was still a threat, he re-entered and observed an insurgent preparing to launch a rocket-propelled grenade at his platoon. Our speaker assaulted the position, killing one insurgent. He entered another room and eliminated two more. He pursued another insurgent up some stairs and eliminated him. While on the roof, a fifth insurgent leapt to a lower roof, but was wounded by our guest in the back and legs, which caused him to fall. For this soldier's unselfish and courageous actions, Staff Sergeant David G. Bellavia was awarded the Medal of Honor. Legionnaires and family and friends, please stand if you are able as we do render honors to Staff Sergeant David G. Bellavia by the numbers. Hand salute. 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Medal of Honor recipient, David Bellavia.
Thank you very much. That's awfully kind. I want to just hit this. Can I do that? Am I allowed? Just want to hit someone in the head with it, actually. But hey, listen, American Legion, this is incredible. God bless you. I'm here to actually break some really big news. In 2025, the American Legion wants me to tell you, we're moving over to the tan beret. And it's a little nuanced. We figured the Rangers, 25 years is good enough. Every 25 years, we take their legacy. And we're going to take that tan beret back from those Rangers, put it on the Legionnaires where it belongs. I love that you rock that garrison cap. I love what you stand for. You helped raise me in my generation. I'm from a small town outside of Buffalo, New York. Hey, if I was in the AFC East, I wouldn't applaud Buffalo either. I know you're afraid. You should be afraid. New Orleans, be afraid of what Josh Allen and the Bills are going to do to the NFL this year. That's all right. It's all right. We accept all. Hey, by the way, Utah, what did you do to sit all the way in the back? What happened there? I'll tell you what happened. You didn't mute the conference call, Utah. That's what happens. Wyoming is ahead of you. And maybe that was the Dick Cheney connection, I'm not sure. But Utah, we love you. Utah, we'd like to ask, in the event of an emergency, will you assist people getting out of here, Utah? You're right by the exits. We'd appreciate your help. God bless Utah. No, I kid Utah, I do. We love Utah. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing us exactly what it is to be American citizens and to be service members. I want to pay particular tribute to one group of Americans. Now, my granddad, God bless him, is still alive. He's 104. He's a Normandy vet. Yeah. He did what? North Africa. He did a tour of Sicily. He did Bastogne. He did the Normandy campaign, not D-Day. I know that. We don't want to confuse our combat stories. That's going around. That I want to make sure that we are clear with the valor of my grandfather. But that is the greatest generation. Tom Brokaw told us it's the greatest generation. Let me please correct Mr. Tom Brokaw. The greatest generation of American is the American who serves their country at war, who comes home and is disrespected for their service. The greatest American and generation is the generation that serves and makes sure that their sons and daughters and grandkids never receive the treatment they received when they came home. The greatest generation of American today is the Vietnam warrior. You built the American Legion, you built the VA, and we are forever in your debt. You are amazing human beings, and we love you. Now, let's talk about Space Force for a second, if we could. Are they real? It's like Bigfoot sightings. I hear about them, but I've never actually seen a member of Space Force. If you were in the Army, you understand what fire guard is, correct? Right. I would like to nominate the Space Force to be on balloon guard, and just look up. You know, if it's over South Carolina, just say something. If you see something, it's a balloon, it can cause damage. God bless our space guardians out there. We're going to need them more than ever. There's two people clapping, and I appreciate that. They're here. We just can't see them, but they're here. American Legion, listen. We've got an issue that we got to talk about. It's going to bum you out. It bums me out. It frustrates me, and it angers me. But I want to give great thanks to what the American Legion is doing. They're doing something different that nobody else is doing. It's dealing with suicide, right? Millions upon millions of dollars are being spent to raise awareness of suicide. And I'm at the point right now where I think we're all aware of suicide, are we not? We're all aware that it exists, all aware of we're losing too many people every single day. So now what? If I hold a formation of my platoon and say, I want to make you aware of snipers, we're all aware of snipers. Now what? What do we do? The American Legion and their partners are doing something. This is going to move the needle, because I don't care anymore about sensitivities. Everyone wants to talk their politics in this election season. Very disappointed not to see anyone from the major tickets show up to the American Legion, by the way. That's shameful. It's not right. We're veterans. We served our country in peace and at war. We were prepared to do whatever our country asked us to do. And you know what? Attention will be paid to that. Veterans as a bloc need to stand in solidarity. Democrats, Republicans, gays, straight, I don't care where you come from, I don't care what you look like. I need you on this side. And I need everyone that's out there in Washington, D.C. or in our state capitals to know this is not a side you want to mess with. I sat there through convention after convention. When we fight, we win, is all I heard. You know what happens when veterans fight? You talk like Porky Pig for the rest of your life, you gotta limp. That's what happens. Best case scenario. When we fight, it's real. And we don't wanna fight. We fought overseas so we don't have to fight at home. We fought overseas so our children and our enemies' children can discuss their differences without fear or loathing. I know there's people outside America that want to cause us harm. You're well aware of that. The Houthis. Ooh, the Houthis. You know how many Houthis there are in the world? It blew me away. I talked to a 4-star general. 2,100. That's including mama and grandma Houthis. 2001, I thought 2,100 with rifles, 2,100 on patrol. No, total 2,100. They colored their beards in a really, it's not even a human color. It's like a Sally Jesse Raphael, Ronald McDonald had a child, that red that they get at the Yemeni CVS. And we live in fear. Our Navy, 100% perfect. Every single time these lunatics endanger our service members. Well, how are we going to get fired up about enemies of the United States if we can't get fired up about our own veterans every single day? We depend on the VA. We depend on the quick reaction force. How many deployed people? That quick reaction force, they're only 40 minutes away. They're only an hour away. They're only 3 hours away. It's you. It's you and your friends. And that's all we have, each other. We have the American Legion as leaders and guided us through this malaise of, it's uncomfortable to talk about suicide. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like talking about it. I don't want to talk about the enemy takes our own. We know what to do when the enemy's shooting at us. What do we do when that decision is made back home? Who are we? Do you have the skill set to talk to someone and mentor them? Now look, I'm well aware. All I want to do is hang out with veterans. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear about Chow. I want to hear about everything. I don't want to hear about Tijuana though, Marines. Keep that to yourselves, all right? No one wants to hear that at dinner or at a barbecue. But I love you because you loved me first. I respect you because you cared enough about a kid to show him that our heroes aren't just guys who play pro sports. Our heroes are the men and women who walked down our streets, who created jobs and employed us, who coached our Little League team and taught us in school. Veterans, all of them, willing to do whatever their country asked them to do. You love us, and we love you. I need something more than awareness for suicide. I need you to do something. I need you to have the skills to be able to have a conversation about what veterans are lacking. When you wore uniform, you knew you were important. You're part of a team. You never had to question what you were doing every single day. Every day you put that uniform on, you knew why you were on this earth. You leave the uniform behind. What are you here to do? Things are frustrating. Civilians get this all wrong, right? Civilians, you like someone first, right? They're charming, they're funny, they're intelligent. Then you trust them, then you love them. I'm looking at a bunch of veterans right now. If I went back to your old units, you don't even like those guys now. We don't like each other. You're from the city, you're from the country. You believe the space program's fake and wrestling's real. But you know something? You never have to question how we trust each other. Nah, day one. Day one, we trust you. Day one, we love you. The military is the largest adoption agency the world has ever created. You don't pick anything. You don't pick anything. You're there. You're in the unit. Oh, man, some people are all they can be. But you love them. They're a part of your family. And you grow where you're planted. And we have people right now that are struggling for validation. They're struggling for their sense of identity. Now, you Vietnam guys, you Cold War veterans, you Gulf War veterans, you spoiled us. You told us that wars were going to be super quick, and you were devastating in the field. And the reason why more countries aren't communist are because of our Cold War veterans and their sacrifice, facing down Soviet divisions, looking them in the eyes, telling them what the Abrams tank can do. That's how you raised my generation that went to war in Afghanistan and Iraq. We have to mentor our veterans that are struggling and show them that they are loved, remind them who we are. Some of them are going to need a hug, clap. Some of them are going to need a hug. Some are going to need a boot straight up in the butt. You know that. Some of them are going to need tough love. But are we doing all we can do? Do we have the tools and the skills to actually get through all of the things that are clouding this generation? Far too many are being lost. Make a difference. Be the one. Stand up. Get into someone's business that doesn't want to share with you. That's odd for us. It's odd for us to want to get into someone's business when we think they're struggling. It's rude. If that's the difference between keeping someone here and losing them, let's be rude. Let's get involved. Let's show that we care. And I'm going to tell you what, you guys raised us. I hope you're proud of what we've done. I hope you're proud of, when I came home from the war, I was surrounded by Vietnam veterans, and they treated me in a way that they were not treated. They looked out for me. They asked me how I was. They stared at me with tears of pride and love. Vietnam veterans, you didn't hear this when you came home. Welcome home. We love you back. We do. Turns out Legionnaire's disease is going beyond the 10 minutes you're allotted at the convention. I just learned that. It is a waterborne illness. We're all good. Don't feel guilty. You have nothing to do with it. I want to tell you something from the bottom of my heart. I want to say I'm appreciative and I'm in awe, and I'm asking for one more thing. When I need help, I go to the older veterans. You guys with the gray, now that I have gray, the deep white, the maturity. And I look at you and I think, number one, you could all still make a push. I didn't know how to find the convention. I just looked for all the screaming communists running away from the convention center. And I'm like, that must be where the American Legion is. You all can make a push. You're tough, you're decent, you're loving, and you have taught me everything I need to know about how to fight, about how to be a citizen, about how to be a husband, a father. You taught me how to be the man that I am today. I need your help. I need to know that we can fix this. Do we need the VA? Do we need our congressmen? Do we need presidents? Do we need money? We need to care, and we need guidance, and we need leadership. And you veterans that have come before us, we're asking you to be a part of this solution. Fix this problem with us. Be a part of a solution that shows love, that shows empathy, and we're going to end this. We're going to end this, and we're going to make a difference. Remind people that they're valued, that they're appreciated, that they have a tomorrow. They lived throughout all the things they experienced so they could grow old with that garrison cap and look at a snotty-nosed kid that comes home from war and says, shut up and sit down. Make eye contact, shake a hand. You're still a soldier, a Marine, a sailor, an airman, a Space Force person. Inclusion. Coasties, you have led the way. You're the reason why we're safe. You're the reason why this republic is still strong. And we need you. And we need your mentorship. We need your heart. We need your love. Because I'll tell you what, Al-Qaeda, China, Russia, ISIS, I find them to be adorable. They are the cutest little enemies anyone could hope for. You want to see that Russian Navy? I know how quickly they can go in reverse. Every time the Navy shows up, we see how the Chinese can maneuver backwards. We're still the toughest kid on the block, but we need to show that we also have heart and that we care. Thank you, American Legion, for being who you are, men and women, every single day. Thank you for teaching us what citizenship is all about. Thank you for showing us how to kick ass under fire. Thank you for loving us in a way that many of you were not loved. We need you now more than ever. We need to collect everyone and bring them home. God bless you. May God bless our military. And may God have mercy on anyone stupid enough to challenge the United States Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, and Space Force. We're going to get him every time. God bless the American Legion. Thank you.